conference is going to go.
Right now, we're taking a live look from Columbia, where the University of South Carolina.
Ray Tanner, who will then introduce our University President, Dr. Harris Pastides. Dr. Pastides will then introduce Coach Spurrier. Coach will have a statement and then take some questions from the media.
Right now, we're going to go live to the press conference at Columbia, where Coach Spurrier is expected to formally announce his retirement. Let's listen in.
Then take some questions from the media as well, and then Coach Tanner will come back up a final time to answer any other questions that you may have for him. So without further ado, Athletics Director, University of South Carolina, Ray Tanner.
Thank you, Steve, and thank all of you for being here today. I would like to begin by apologizing to many of my friends in the media.
Right now, we're going to listen in as Coach Steve Spurrier, the head coach of USC, is expected to formally announce his retirement. Let's listen in now live.
But it is not customary that I don't acknowledge your communication, so I hope that you'll forgive me for that. Back in 2004, on November 23rd, Coach Steve Spurrier became our head football coach at this university. And he quickly asked the question, why not us? He then proceeded to answer the question with a great career. He changed our culture, our championship mentality, and became the winningest coach in the history of the program. And while his accolades and statistics are great, he's always been about more than winning games. He's always been about family first, that he's exhibited in his immediate family and in our Gamecock family. Often you would see him at Coach Staley's games, at Coach Holbrook's games, and other events. Matter of fact, when Coach Staley qualified for the Final Four, my first phone call was from Coach Spurrier. He said, you know, I'm going to be needing a ticket down there in Tampa. So I said, we got you covered. But we are honored and blessed that Coach Spurrier has been with us for this length of time and has made such an impact on this school and on our athletics department, and he's been an inspiration to us all. While he has been a great coach, he's been a great friend to all of us and a great colleague. Thank you, Coach Spurrier. Now I would like to introduce our president here at Carolina, Dr. Harris Pastides.
Thank you, Coach Tanner. It's hard to imagine, and say not so, but the end of the Steve Spurrier era of Carolina football is upon us. And I'll introduce the head ball coach in a few moments, but let me attempt, as Coach Tanner did, for just a few moments, I promise, to try to quantify what Steve Spurrier has meant to USC football, athletics, but to the entire Gamecock Nation. As Ray said, Coach Spurrier arrived here on November the 23rd, 2004, the 32nd head football coach in the university's history, at 86 and 49 at USC, the winningest coach in USC history. Overall at 228, 89, and 2, a 71.8% winning percentage. Coach Spurrier and Coach Bear Bryant have the most coaching victories at 2 different Southeastern Conference schools. 3 11-win seasons. Who can ever forget that? 33 games, but in the 2011, 12, and 13 football seasons rank among the most victories of any college football team over that period. I put out for you my 3 11-win season championship rings, all of them resulting in a major bowl victory as well as the SEC Eastern Division Championship ring that I'm so proud to bring to games with me. Over the past 10 years, Carolina ranks 24th among all major football programs in the most wins over that decade. In 2013, as you all know, we finished 4th in both major football polls, and we won the Palmetto Bowl 5 times in a row. 9 bowl appearances. At USC, Steve was named SEC Coach of the Year in 2005, his first season, and again in 2010, and he's won that honor 7 different times. Overall, 9 times Coach of the Year between the SEC and the ACC. He leads the active coaches today in the number of players picked by the NFL draft, 36 from the University of South Carolina, 104 draftees over his lifetime, and 27 active players now in the NFL. But you know, all of that doesn't tell the story. That doesn't really tell the complete story of what Coach Spurrier has meant to our university and to Gamecock Nation. He gave us our swagger, our pride, and our sandstorm enthusiasm, and that will be Coach Spurrier's legacy for his lifetime. Along with Coach Tanner, of course, we broke through that glass ceiling of success that looked to be, you could see it, but you couldn't really touch it or have it. And now Carolina fans worldwide want to have it. And that's something we're never going to lose either. So on behalf of our Board of Trustees who are here with us today and the entire Gamecock Nation, let me tell you that I asked Coach Spurrier to consider staying through the end of the season. We spoke 2 times yesterday. He had made up his mind. He'll tell you more about that in his own words. He thought that this was the right decision, not only for himself, but for the team and for the University of South Carolina. So without any further ado, our head ball coach, Steve Spurrier.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. All right, thanks. Okay, first of all, I'm resigning. I'm not retiring. I'll get that part straight. I doubt if I'll ever be a head coach again, but, you know, maybe coaching a high school team or something. So don't say I've retired completely from coaching. Who knows what will come in the future. But the last several years, as I travel around the country, seeing guys and so forth, I always get asked, how much longer are you going to coach? And my answer is always the same. As long as we keep winning these bowl games, everybody's happy, we're ranked, life's pretty good, I guess I can go several more years. But if it starts going south, starts going bad, then I need to get out. You can't keep a head coach that's done it as long as I have when it's heading in the wrong direction. And really today, when I move out of the way and Shawn Elliott's going to take over as the interim head coach, it sort of starts our rebuilding or building back what we had just 2 years ago. And it was only 2 years ago that we were 4th in the nation, and the last of those 11-2s. And somehow or another, we've slid, and it's my fault. I'm responsible. I'm the head coach. And it's time for me to sort of get out of the way and let somebody else have a go at it. And I really believe Shawn will bring some enthusiasm, energy, passion that our team will accept. And I think we'll all be proud of the way our guys play out there Saturday. I'm looking forward to watching it myself. The part about what right now, the president said, why can't you just go through the end of the year and announce this is your last year? I find that doesn't work a lot, because if the players know you're not going to be their coach after such and such a time, you just don't have the accountability, I think. And also, it gives us a chance to hire an interim head coach. Gives us a chance. Coach Tanner hired Shawn, and gives him a chance to make his mark for these next 6 games. And I think the team needs to hear a new message, a new voice from another coach. And Shawn's going to do that, and I think he's going to do an outstanding job. And hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully a lot of our coaches on the staff here will still be here next year. And of course, I'm pulling for Shawn. But it gives us a little time to start rebuilding. Yesterday, I was sort of a recruiting liability. It's hard to recruit when your coach has done it a long time and at a certain age. The recruits want to know that guy's going to be there 5, 10 years from now. And with a new coach here, I think it really is going to pick up recruiting. I really believe that. So we got a new message going, and I think our rebuilding process is in place. Just looking back here, I thank Dr. Sorensen and Mike McGee. Mike McGee basically hired me with Dr. Sorensen's approval back in '04. I think I was probably the best coach for this job 11 years ago, but I'm not today. I'm not today, and that's the cycle of coaching. Sometimes you run your course, you've had your run, and it's ready to pass it to the next guy. And that's where I am right here today. But I thank those guys. I thank Athletic Director Eric Hyman. He did a super job fundraising, getting all these facilities started. And Coach Tanner and President Pastides has finished it up. Facility-wise, we're as good as anybody in the country. And this place is ready to take off again real soon, I believe. But I do believe it's important for me to step aside and allow that building back process to take over. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm stepping aside, and I'm still going to be around town. One of the players asked Coach Tanner, tell Coach to come by practice today. And I said, I'll come by practice. I was down in the weight room working out. I'll just be the former head ball coach now, former head ball coach. But I'll be around town a lot, and I just think it's the best thing. This is the best thing for South Carolina football, for our university, to start another building process. And we got an excellent interim coach, excellent coaches, and it's their turn to have a go at it. It's their turn to see what they can do. So that's pretty simply it right there. It's time for me to move on, and time for South Carolina to start rebuilding a bit. Okay, any questions quickly? Yep. I also want to say thanks to South Carolina fans. They've received me and my family, my wife Jerry, who's the biggest reason for whatever success I've had as a coach. She's got a class today, and she's going to get her degree in psychology in December. So she didn't have time for this silly little press conference we got going on right now. All right, Dave, what you got?
Steve, when was the moment that you knew that you needed to go ahead and get up?
Pretty much Sunday morning. Actually, I went and talked to Coach Tanner Sunday afternoon. But actually, when we were 2-2, I called him up and I said, Coach, I'm going to try to get through this season, but I sense that this is about it for me. I just sense it's it. Central Florida, it was a struggle against those guys. As you know, we came in at halftime behind, and it was a struggle. And I said, I don't know if I need to continue having these kind of struggles. But we talked briefly then, and then we talked briefly this past Sunday. And when something is inevitable, I believe you do it right then. You don't wait a week. You don't wait 2 weeks. This has to happen. Let's do it. Let's do it, and let's get started in a new direction. So that's what we hope to do today.
Steve, when did you tell Dr. Pastides, Coach Tanner, that was it? Your decision was made at what time of day? And did you consider staying and doing Vandy and then leaving in the bye week?
Oh, we talked about that briefly, and I think I told Coach Tanner and the President Pastides that when something's inevitable, let's do it right now. And let's give the interim coach the opportunity right now. Got a home game against Vandy that I think if we play well, we got a good chance. And let's give the interim coach this opportunity right now today.
Coming into the season, you felt pretty good that you could get things headed back in the right direction. When did you not think that anymore, and what happened?
Just gradually, for whatever reason, our team wasn't quite as good as I thought we were going to be, and that's just the way it happened. Hopefully, with some new leadership, maybe we can become a much better team.
Steve, when you Steve, when you told the players, I mean, what was their reaction? Were they surprised? Could they sense this was coming too?
I'm not sure. I talked to them right after practice last night, and just told them I told him there was a good chance I may be stepping down. I think that's the way I left it with them, and they assumed I was stepping down, or I wouldn't be telling them that. But yeah, they deserve to know first, so I let those guys know.
Steve, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment while you were here at USC?
That's a good question, Rick. I need more of those. Yeah, I can rattle off a lot of firsts that we achieved here. The president talked about a few of them. I really think the one that I really personally liked was the 18 straight home wins. 18 straight at home was a school record that was pretty special, I think. And our fans had so much to do with that. So that was, I would say that's my favorite.
Coach, in your last contract, you agreed to be an advisor to President Pastides and Athletic Director Tanner. Is that something you plan on doing now that you've...
Oh, that's something we'll talk about a little later, probably. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. This is only October. Yeah, okay. Yes, yes. Go ahead, Phil.
Steve, how close did you actually come to retiring after last season? And in retrospect, if you were thinking hard about it then, do you wish you had gone through with those plans?
No, I don't know that I wished I'd gone through with it. We got re-energized when we won the bowl game and got in the bowl and all that. Last year was it was a little bit more difficult than this year's been, actually. But there comes a time when you just have to say, hey, what direction is our football program going? And it wasn't going the way we'd hoped, so I need to step aside. Simple as that.
It may be too early for this, you may not know yet, but are there plans for you to be honored on the field during a game at some point to give fans the opportunity to, wish you well?
Yeah, a couple of years from now, maybe. Yeah, maybe a couple of years from now, I don't know. But anyway, I just think this is the right thing to do for the university, and it's going to give Shawn a chance, give our coaching staff a chance to get some fresh, new life. A lot can happen. This team can change, and I certainly hope it does. Okay. Okay.
Steve, as you stand there at the moment the decision's been made, how do you feel personally? It's been a long time since you haven't been a football coach.
Well, I feel like this day was coming. It's inevitable it's coming, and I didn't plan on going out this way. I planned on being on the shoulder pads of the team coming out of the Georgia Dome with an SEC championship, but that didn't work out. We did win a division down in the swamp. That was neat back then. But I just think it's best for everybody, especially our team, our school, is that I get out of the way now and let's start in a new direction.
But how are you doing at this moment after an iconic career? What are your personal feelings?
Well, I got up this morning, got on the treadmill a few minutes ago, so I'm doing my normal stuff right now. But I'll have something planned. Everyone's told me once you sort of give up your day job, you need to have something planned to do. So I'll have something planned to do each day. I don't know what yet, though. Yeah.
Coach, how much do you want to be involved, if at all, in the chase for your successor, trying to figure out who's...
I will have no involvement. That's not up to the former coach. I just don't believe it should be. It'll be up to president if he has a search committee, or we'll see how Shawn does. That's probably the criteria right there.
Coach, you've been part of football for more than 50 years. Just to see it end like this, what's that like for you emotionally?
Well, you plan for it a little bit. Nothing goes on forever. I've gone on a lot longer than most people, so I've been blessed way beyond my wildest expectations. So it's time to take on the adventure of the next part of my life. So Jerry and I are looking forward to it. I think she's looking forward to it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure she is or not. But
just to kind of describe what you've been feeling these past few weeks, because you were always so passionate about your role. This summer, you were very passionate about.
Times change. Times change.
Was it just did you just wake up the day after the UCF game? I mean, was it just did it just hit you like a ton of bricks in terms of maybe not feeling the passion?
No, that's a gradual process. It was gradual, but obviously, halftime of that game was a little stressful. But, once you've done something for a long time that I have, and it's not going as well as you'd hope, it's time to move on. It's pretty simple. Okay.
Steve, you said right at the top that, it was a resignation, not a retirement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could you see yourself coaching college football again in 2-3 years?
No. College football is a game of recruiting, as we all know, and that's another reason I need to move on. But no, I mean, I don't know if coaching is completely over or not. It is fun being on a team. I might be a consultant for somebody. I don't know. But I doubt if I'll be a head coach. But who knows? I doubt it. But being on a team is fun. I may miss being on a team without being the head coach. That might be fun. I don't know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Steve, you said that you knew it was time. Do you think the players also had a sense that you were nearing the end of your run?
Yeah, a little bit, maybe a little bit. Some of them. I think it surprised some, and maybe not others, I would guess.
Steve,
Yeah.
there were times when you challenged the USC student body to come to the games a little bit earlier, stay a little bit longer, and then there's other times when you complimented them on their support. What message do you have for the USC students going forward?
No, I'm not the head coach now, so I just say thanks to all they've done. Yeah, I don't really have a message. They did their part. The Kentucky game was as good an atmosphere as almost any we've ever had, I thought. And we messed that one up and did not win it. But the students, all the fans have been super here. Okay, let's get moving. I've had enough here. I bring up Athletic Director Coach Tanner again.
Thank you, Coach. I'm in the midst of my 4th year. I apologize, but I feel that being a former coach was very important with my relationship with Coach Spurrier. We always had great conversations and great dialogue. And as this time was approaching us, we continued to visit from time to time. And on Sunday, I felt...
Okay, you are seeing Athletic Director Ray Tanner at the podium right now, as what we have just heard for about the last 10 or 15 minutes is that Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach, as many people have known him, now wants to be referred to as the former old ball coach. Steve Spurrier announcing that he has resigned, that he is not in fact retiring, but that he is done as head coach at South Carolina. If you just listened in, he said a lot of things. A lot of people had been hitting on him for his lack of recruiting success, and he hit on that a lot of times, saying that he's become a recruiting liability and it was time for him to go. He said he didn't want to leave this way. He wanted to leave on the shoulder pads of his players after an SEC championship at South Carolina, but that did not happen. But what did happen, a record run in Columbia at the University of South Carolina. Steve Spurrier, of course, 3 straight 11-win seasons, the most successful head coach at the University of South Carolina. Said he was blessed beyond his wildest expectations, but said moving on right now was the right thing to do. President Harris Pastides did say that he tried to convince Coach Spurrier yesterday that maybe he could stay through the end of the season. Why not finish the season? But he says, Spurrier said it doesn't work that way. The players, you have to have the accountability with them, and it just wouldn't work. He became a little bit emotional. The little bit of emotion that I saw was when he talked about when he told his players, said they were the first that needed to know, and he told them last night. We'll have so much more on this online. Our website is counton2.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll have a complete wrap of this. News 2's Evan West is in Columbia at that Spurrier press conference. We'll have more reaction coming up today on News 2 at 5 o'clock. I'm News 2's Brendan Clark. We now return to regular programming.